Hello, everyone. Apple Watches are always the same. I'll say always one of the best piece of smartwatches that has ever seen be released. Yeah, from the Series 8 to whatever one they released in the late 2020. Apple Watch are always often great. I wanted to make a video about the one they released in late 2020, but in late 2023, but I just didn't have enough time to make it. But let us just talk about it. Let us talk about Apple Watch technology, and why is it so cool? Why is it so cool that I left talking about gadgets, smartphones, cars, and then said talk about the Apple smartwatch? Despite how small it is, we want to talk about it. First of all, is when it comes to the screens. You see, the Apple smartwatch screen is just like the same screen as that of the iPhone 15, just that it has an higher refresh rate of 3000 nits. So you can see it's in darkness. When I say darkness, I mean darkness of blackness of dark and black of shadows. You can see it is that bright. It has a big bright out of 3000 nits, and you can also scale up the refresh rate up and down to a minimum of 1 hertz, which is also insane. So you can have different perception on it, your red, your blue, stuff like that. It's going to be there, and that's one thing I like about the screen is often there for you. Another thing again is the straps. The leather, I won't say it's actually the fiber straps on it is actually now eco-friendly, according to what Apple said. According to what they said, because they wanted to be environmental friendly. According to what they said it is now eco-friendly and actually truly based on what they said and based on what I've seen and based on what I've tested and based on what I've researched on, it is actually true. Their wristbands are now more eco-friendly, so you can actually use them, dump them, and then they will just decay and then they'll be useful. So it's not only going to cause in more carbon emission. They are not processed from organic materials or bio materials, so you can use them anytime, and it is actually really great. Then you move to the design. So unlike other smartwatches, it's a normal thing about Apple, so you should not be surprised that I'm talking about it. Apple's products are often having a different look. We often know that Apple's products are the only ones that are often different. Their iPhone, their pitch, the dynamic island, their MacBooks, their AirPods, they are only the ones that are often different. So, but let's just be honest, design of the Apple's Ultra 8, the Series 8, are often really top notch. It just looks like a normal wristwatch, like something that's not digital, something like a company like Rolex, but or a company like Caviar. But when you come closer to it, you find that this is actually a smartwatch. And one thing I just like about it because of the way they've done it, making sure that it looks like a normal watch so it can fit in your daily life, and at the same time making sure that it looks like a smartwatch which can actually connect to your smartphone, your AirPod, whatever. That's one thing I really like about it. And then moving up again is the chipset. So the chipset of the Apple Watch is also top notch, as the same, almost the same as that is inside their MacBooks, their headsets, their iPhone. It's also a good A chip, which is something that other smartwatches might not be able to put in their own. So I really like Apple for considering that part, especially because some companies just feel like, okay, it's just a smartwatch, it's not like as if it's doing much, then they just put in an anyhow chip. But no, Apple actually did something that's really different. They put a good chip in it, which is good enough for us to use. That's a good one. I give them kudos to that. Then we move to the gestures of this Apple Watch. So when Apple talked about the Apple Watch in 2023 September, one of the gestures I liked about the watch is when it comes to the tap feature. The feature that you can just use to tap your hand to pick up your phone, tap your hand to do whatever you want to do if your other hand is busy. It's something I really want to see more of on others. And how does this work? It still works in a good way. You see, under the smartwatch, you have the accelerometer and gyrometers, which actually read the pulse or the electrical signals that your hand pass. So once your hand taps like this, if you check the back of your hand, once your hand is tapping like this, you find that there's some part of your body up to the part where your wristwatch is going to stay that are going to be moving. So with these taps, the underneath of the watch is able to read it, calculate it, convert it from this just your normal body part moving to electrical signals into your smartwatch, going to tell it what it's actually supposed to do. The next response is actually supposed to follow through. So something that is a really brilliant idea. And one of the things it's going to solve is the fact that since if your other hand is busy and this one is where your wristwatch solution, and then there's a call on it and you want to pick it, but this one is engaged, you can just double tap and then fine, you pick it. Double tap to hang up a call, double tap to probably open your camera, double tap, and then you are good to go. That one of things I just like. And then before we go to the last two things, then the last two things, first of all, is the always is always active. So just like the Apple's smartphone, or just like Tesla cars, Apple's watch are always active. They're always there for you. Let me put it that way. They're always there for you. You just click on it and it's always active. You pop it up on your smartphone and then you can find where it is. And it's so good, just like the next feature is the iPhone features. Is what the next thing I want to talk about is iPhone features. And when I say iPhone features, it's the fact that Apple has done a kind of way of inculcating the smart watch, the smartphone features into their smartwatch, like the always on display, the titanium feeling, the eco consciousness that they are giving to the phone, the good design, the maximum software. Apple are now trying to make sure that their products are now more like on the same line, making sure that they are out of the competition, making sure that they are going to a level of being a big company around the world. So, do you use an Apple Watch? I've used an Apple Watch before. I've bought a fake Apple Watch before, thinking it was an original, which I've done before. Tell me in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the very next one. Bye.